Hey y'all, welcome to the Math 6 7.2 video where today we are talking about solving equations using addition and subtraction. So what are we looking for when we solve equations? Well, we're looking for balance, okay? Who brings balance? You bring the balance. You are the chosen one. It's very true. You have to bring balance to the force or the equation. Teach you? Okay, I will teach you how to bring balance to the force. Alright, so before we bring balance, sometimes we need to check things for balance, okay? So we're going to check some different given solutions for balance in some equations. So when I say check for balance, what I mean is tell whether a given value is a solution of an equation. It's basically the same as saying, does the given value bring balance to the force? So we have an equation here, p plus 10 is 38 or equals 38, and then they give us the solution 18. So what we're going to do is we are going to plug that given solution in for that variable over there in the equation. So I'm going to rewrite it as 18. Oh, where's my gray? Where's my gray? There it is. Plus 10 equals 38. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to, and you don't have to do this, but I really like to, and let's put a little question mark over the equal sign. So now we're saying, does 18 plus 10 equal 38? Well, 18 plus 10, that's 28, but does 28 equal 38? No, it doesn't. So what we would say is that 18 is not a solution, does not bring balance to the force. Alright, so I want you to pause the video, try this one, and see if 14 brings balance over here. Play the video when you are done. Okay, so x represents 14, so I'm going to put a 14 there. Now, what does 4x mean? Well, we need to remember that 4x actually means 4 times x. So we're going to rewrite this as 4 times 14 and ask ourselves, does that equal 56? Well, 14 and 4, 16, and then 5. Well, is 56 equal to 56? Yes, it is. So, what do we say? 14 is a solution. Alright, so here's a slightly more difficult one, but you are totally capable, I think, of solving it. So pause the video and try to figure out if these two values bring balance to that equation. Play when you're done. Okay, so I'm going to put 10 there because A represents 10, and I'm going to put 27 there because B represents 27. So now it's really like saying, does 10 plus 7 equal 27 minus 9? Well, let's find out. Question mark. What's 10 plus 7? 17. Okay. Well, does 17 equal, 27 minus 9. So subtract 10 and then add 1 back, so that's 18. So actually, no, these solutions do not bring balance. Alright, so what if we're just given an equation and we're told to find what brings balance, or solve would be another way of saying find the balance, right? So finding the number that brings balance to an equation is done by getting the variable by itself. And again, that really means we solve. We're going to solve the equation. Now, how do we do that? Well, we do that by what's called inverse operations, okay? Which are operations that undo each other. Okay, now to undo addition or subtraction, to do undo addition or to get rid of a positive number, we subtract. So what's an example of that? Well, an example would be like x plus 9 equals 20. Okay, so to bring balance, we're going to get rid of the addition that is keeping the variable from being by itself. Now you might say, well, a variable is by itself. When we mean by itself, what we mean is on one side of the equation, totally alone. Well, there's a plus 9 here, right? A positive number. So how do we get rid of that? We subtract, and we subtract by that same amount. So it was add 9, so now we're going to subtract 9. But whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other side of the equation. Why? Because it's all about balance, right? Whatever you do to one side, got to do to the other. So we end up with x equaling, whatever 20 minus 9 is, 11. Now, can we check to see if that brings balance? Absolutely. Plug that 11 back in there for x. Okay, so is 11 plus 9 equal to 20? Well, 11 plus 9 is 20, and last time I checked, 20 equaled 20. So what brings balance? 11 brings balance. Now, to undo subtraction, we get rid of a negative number. or to, I keep goofing this up, to undo subtraction or to get rid of a negative number, we do the opposite or the inverse of subtraction, which is add. So if you had, 24 equals c minus 7. Well, how do I get rid of a minus, a subtraction, or a negative number? You could see it either way. Do the opposite. Add 7 and add 7. And so when we do that, what we end up getting, is 31 to equal c. And what we know over here is that a minus 7 and a plus 7 cancel each other out. Again, we can check for balance by taking that 31 and putting it back in there for c. So let's see. Is 24 equal to 31 minus 7? Well, what's 31 minus 7? Well, what's 30 minus 7? 23, but we need to add 1 back. And 24 equals 24, so that checks out. So what brings balance? 31 brings balance. For those of you guys who want some kind of more stepped methodical things, I thought I'd make this up for you. So it's basically just a task list, okay, for solving equations. There's an order to solving. So the first thing we do is we ask ourselves, is the variable by itself? Okay, well, here's the variable, and is he by himself? Well, no, he has a minus 3 with him. I need to get rid of that. So why not? Well, because of that minus 3 part right there. So what is the inverse operation of the number that is keeping the variable from being by itself? Well, what's the inverse of subtract 3? That's add 3. And now we're going to do that inverse operation by taking our k minus 3 equals 1, and we're going to add the 3 to both sides, and it cancels out there because negative 3 plus 3 is 0. So you could write k plus 0 is equal to 4 if you want, but we know we really don't need that, so we could really just write it as k equals 4, and that makes sense, right? Because if we plug that back into the original problem, 4 minus 3 is 1. And then ask, does it bring balance? That's really what we're doing by checking our solution for balance. All right, so pause the video and give that one a shot. Play it when you're done. All right. 18 equals a number minus 7, okay? Well, again, what's the first thing? Variable by itself? No, it's not. So we got to get rid of that minus 7 by doing the opposite, which is add 7. We've got to do it to both sides. So what is 18 plus 7? That's a 25 equals, we didn't do anything to him, so just bring him down. Bring down the x, didn't do anything there. And then what's negative 7 plus 7? It's just 0, so we don't even need it. Check your solution. So I'll write check right here. Rewrite the original. 18 equals x minus 7. Plug that 25 in there for x. And see, do we get a true statement? Well, 25 minus 7, so minus 5, minus 2. Yeah, 18, that works. Checks out. What brings balance? 25. That's our solution. All right, pause the video. Try this one. Okay, variable by itself? No. Got a minus 84, so we need to do the opposite, which is add 84 to both sides. And we get b here, equaling, what's 84 plus 3 or 3 plus 84? Easy. 87. Okay, plug that thing back in there. What is 87 minus 84? It's 3, so it brings balance. 87 is our answer. All right, so Wikipedia.com, like that play on words, right? Pretty funny. It says that Yoda is 26 inches tall. Now, this is 4 inches shorter than the average Ewok. Don't forget to keep calm and yub nub. So what I want you to do is I want you to write an equation that will help you calculate what the height of an Ewok. And then I want you to solve that equation. So we're going to write the equation and then solve that equation. But instead of doing it here, I'm going to let you figure this out on your own. Bring your answer to class, and we will talk about it then. So I will see you. May the force be with you, and keep calm and yub nub.